Hey, welcome to Dinner with Grief. My name's Andrew, and I'll be your host. And today's topic is dwelling on the past. And as you can see, I'm ready for dinner. I got my potato chips soaked in vegetable oil and real potatoes, so I got my daily dose of nutrition, and I also have my Diet Coke, which is going to be fantastic for those moments I just can't get off my couch or out of bed, and I just need hydration. And today, we're going to be talking about dwelling on the past. We have a question from Rhode Islander Steve. Thanks for writing in, Steve. And he asked, how do I move on? I keep dwelling on the past and losing my parents, and it's really starting to frustrate me and impact my everyday. It's a wonderful question, Steve. I myself had quite some trouble with this idea after I lost both my parents. And first, I'd like to address how you use the term move on. For me, the word moving on was something I had to eliminate from my vocabulary because I wasn't moving on. I wasn't going from second grade to third grade. I was missing my parents, and that's a big chunk of my life to just move on from. So instead, I realized I had to make the passing of my parents an everyday thing and make it a part of my identity and who I was. And once I started making that a part of my identity and realizing I was going to miss them on a daily basis, it was easier for me to cope with their loss and feel like there was something wrong with me. I was able to eliminate that feeling because I feel like I had a lot of feelings of worthlessness through trying to move on, because when you try to move on, I couldn't. I was getting more and more frustrated, just like you said. And as for dwelling on the past, one tool I used was the idea of using the past as a building block from how you want to shape your future. So for example, when I would lie in bed at night, tossing and turning, dreaming of going back to those moments when I was 16 years old, not knowing what was coming up in the future, 2 to 10 years down the road, I would think if only I knew, or if only I said something to my father and got him into the hospital that much earlier to be able to get diagnosed and checked out instead of having it be diagnosed as stage 5 stomach cancer, I would have helped or prevented something from happening. Unfortunately, I did not have the foresight to either A, invent time travel, or B, say what I needed to do in the past. So instead of beating myself up on a daily basis, I saw what I was frustrated about in the past, not saying enough, not doing enough, thinking of things but not actually verbalizing them. And so I used the past as my building block. In those moments when I felt like I should say something, I was able to actually go out there and say what I felt. So when my mom got sick, I was able to tell her how scared I really was for her, because with my father's sickness, I held it inside and I kept it to myself because I was scared to say what I felt. But when my mom got sick, I used that past of knowing what I should have said with my father, and then I used it from my mother. And it sort of just put a positive spin on it, and it made me feel good because I was able to lie in bed at night knowing, you know what, today scared me, today sucked, it was hard, but I said what I felt and I said what I needed to say, and I made myself feel better, and now I'm not keeping it inside me. Now it's out there, and once it's out there, it can't be taken back. So that, in a way, had a very rewarding feeling to know my mom knew where I stood and she knew where I stood. I hope that answered your question, and I will see you next week. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is here. And I look forward to talking to you again and serving up another great meal. Take care. Bye.